everyone, welcome back to my channel. Some of you may already know this, but for those of you who do not, I'm going to give a quick little background before I get started with the video. So I am a nursing major. I'm currently a sophomore, so I just finished my fall semester, which is my last semester of nursing prereqs. So fingers crossed, hopefully in the spring that means I can actually start clinical and my actual nursing classes. So that brings me to the title of this video, which you obviously see. So for today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my study strategies and how that got me to get an A in my microbiology class, which I must mention for those of you who don't know, microbiology is a prereq that you have to take if you're a nursing major. At least that's how it is at my school with my experience with it. And it was a pretty difficult and challenging class, which is why I thought it would be helpful if I share with you guys how I managed to get an A. So what I'm about to say is what I personally think is like the most important takeaway from this video, because I feel like if you don't have this mindset, it's going to be really hard for you, even with the best study tricks, to actually like nail this information. Because you also need to realize you don't only need this stuff to just pass the class and move on. It may be on the NCLEX as well, so it's just something to keep in mind. The thing is with classes like microbiology and anatomy and all of these things, when you are studying, you have to keep in mind that you want to understand the material and not just memorize it, because memorizing will probably not work as well, and it will only be for like a temporary period of time, and after the semester it kind of just like leaves your brain. A class like micro has so much information and material in there for you to know, so if you actually try to understand it, everything is just going to come together for you instead of just like trying to memorize it, which I think is just a lot harder. Getting down to business. So I had micro on Tuesdays and Thursdays of the week. Granted, we did meet online, but it was still the same setup as in person. Every single week, recorded lectures and readings were posted for us to, go over and do what we want with them throughout the week. So I would essentially just split my work in half. If I had 4 PowerPoint lectures to go over, I'd do 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Thursday. If I had 2 PowerPoints for the week, it would be 1 Tuesday, 1 Thursday. And luckily, if I only had 1, I would just get a free day on Thursday because I would do it all on Tuesday. So I like to balance and keep myself on a schedule so I don't fry my brain and, burn out in the first day. My PowerPoints that were posted, they obviously had words and information on the slides, but I also had my professor giving a voice recording in the background where she probably added more information that wasn't already on the slides, which I was aware of. But how I did this, and again, this study strategy is what worked for me. I can't guarantee that it's effective for everyone, but you take away what you want. I would open up the PowerPoint slide, and for me, I like to take handwritten notes on a notebook, although you can do it on whatever suits you best. It's just what I think is more effective for me. I would go and open up the PowerPoint and I would copy down the slides word for word into my notebook without listening to the voice recording. I would just completely disregard that and just copy down the slides. And when I am copying down my slides, I'm not just scribbling them down, I'm actually taking my time and organizing my notes as I write them. This is just an example of what one chapter of my notebook looked like. You can see that in black. I have the header and what chapter that was, and I have all of these different highlighted colors. So I have like example where it says eukaryotic microorganisms and protists. These are headings and subheadings of what the topic is going to be. Then all of these things in orange are basically like the vocab words, and green was what I used for like examples. So I color coded all of my notes and organized them to look like this. This is another page where you can see there's just so much information on there, but the way that I highlighted it and organized it, it makes it very easy for me to understand. So after I finished taking my notes, I shut my computer off, I put it away, and I give myself a break. Then I will take out my notebook maybe a few minutes later after I do that, so it's not really a break, and I would read my notes over to myself and go in with a pencil and make a star at any point of my notes where it just wasn't clicking or understanding or I had any difficulty with. But I would just read it over and try to understand it for myself. And that's all I would do for the entire week, and I would just focus on all of the assignments and things that I had to do for lab. So unfortunately, my ring light just died on me, or maybe it broke on me. I have no idea, but it just shut off. And I can't seem to fix it, so I'm just gonna go on with this video anyways because that's not that much of a problem. Obviously, other things that contributed to my grade were getting assignments in on time and with my best work and effort in them. I asked for help when needed and I wasn't shy, so you always want to make sure ask your professors for help because they want to help you and they want you to succeed. Once I've reached 1 week before the exam, that is when I begin studying, and I study every single day. It doesn't matter if it's like any type of holiday, any type of like weekend, like I study every single single day up until 5 minutes before I take the exam. Even if it was in person, I'm walking with my notes in my hand. What I would do is I would open up to the first page of notes that I have that are going to be covered, and this time I will open up the PowerPoints and I will actually listen to the voice recording that my professor provided. As she's reading through the slides, I'll also be reading it on my notebook and comparing and listening and reading at the same time. I'll also have my pencil in my hand, so if she says anything that wasn't already written down, I'll add it. And also, this is another important thing. As I mentioned before, when I read it to myself during a regular week, I went through with my pencil and I would star anything that was difficult or hard for me to understand. Now, when I'm going through with her recording and looking at my notes, I'll go ahead and erase anything that started to make sense, or I'll add more stars as I go along if I'm realizing, oh yeah, this doesn't make as much sense as it did a few weeks ago. Alright, so this is my most favorite part about how I study for my exams, and I'm not one to geek out on school. Trust me, I am not a school person. I'm not trying to say don't go to school, kids. Go to school, but school is just not my best friend. You see here, I have this green binder divider, but it's not paper, it's more like a plastic material, and you can see it has little black dots on it. That's because I use it as a little DIY dry erase board. And then I have my expo marker. I open up to my first page of notes. I will go through and read this entire page, and just this page over and over again until I think enough information has stuck. Then I will go in with my dry erase board and I'll put my notebook away or just cover that page, and I will write down every single thing that I remember reading from that page. Then I'll take the two and compare them, and I'll make a note of all the things that I forgot to add. So that way I know I need to spend more time on that topic instead of wasting time on things that I already know. And sometimes I don't just try to write down everything that I remember. Maybe I'll do like a little fill in the blanks or write questions for myself. So I'll finish and I'll go through all the rest of the chapters with the same process, which does take a long time, but it works. I then go through my notes and I see all of the places that I marked that I had difficulty, and I'm like, okay, these are the ones that I need to study more of. And I forget all of the other things that I studied and I focus on the things that I marked as hard. Then I will go through this same process with all of the things that I have a star next to until I get it right. And I'll keep going over it and over and over it until I have erased all the stars and I have a pretty good solid understanding of everything in my notes. And that is kind of what I will do up until the test. And then the day of the test, I'll just go through and read through all of my notes like I'm reading a book, even though I never read books, but you get what I'm trying to say. So that is how I passed my microbiology class in a lecture part. Now for the lab, I kind of touched on this a little earlier on in the video, but there wasn't really any tests or quizzes. I just had to do good on the labs themselves, do good on the lab reports and all assignments that were assigned. And honestly, as long as you try your best and you reach out and ask for help, you'll do just fine. Just turn them in on time and turn them in with your best work. So that is all I have for this video. That was about everything that kind of helped me pass my micro class. If you guys have any questions about this video, the class, or just anything in general, college questions, I mean, the list can go on, feel free to ask me and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. I am an open book. I really do hope that this video was helpful for many of you. Again, I can't ensure that it's going to work for everyone. This is just my personal experience and it worked for me. But I really hope that many of you guys can find use in some of the things I shared with you today. But thank you guys all so much for watching this video. If it helped at least one person, I'm happy. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button down below so you can get more videos from me. And yeah, I wish you guys all the best and I'll see you guys next time with another new video. Good luck on your semester and I hope you guys have a wonderful break and happy holidays. Bye!